Believe it or not, this isn't the sketchiest thing I've put on this ramp.
We are back at basefan.com on a Sunday. Here it is. It's a 6x2 tag axle Mela converted minibus, soon to be converted. And I'm going to check over, make sure that we've done everything, and just essentially show you how everything works. So at the minute it's locked on the central locking. Press the top button, you're away. Just a quick side note on that one though. You will need to use these little keys here. Oopsie daisy. These little keys here for accessing these doors because they don't work off central locking. And it is the same for this rear door here as well. So now that's out of the way, I've got a little bit of a list for myself inside here as well. So demonstrate how the air suspension system works. So there is some manuals and stuff inside here, inside this folder here, for the VB air suspension system. And this little button here, I presumed would operate the air suspension, but it seems to me as though at night time it will go down, but as soon as you put the ignition in and start the engine, the compressor will kick in and it will go to ride height. It's got sensors underneath. Let me just turn the radio off. It's got sensors underneath which determine what the ride height is, so you don't need to be concerned about that. Just turn the key, let the air suspension get to its level and drive away. Onto that as well, here we go. If indeed the air suspension compressor doesn't kick in, you have a plan B. I've never had to use this in my time on the ambulances or anything really, but in some circumstances, I'm sure it has failed, and that's why they put this in here. You can manually inflate the air suspension system. Give me a sec, guys. Manually inflate the air suspension system. Just on another note as well, if the battery goes flat, you've got a little positive there, and you can find an earth on here. A 12-volt jump start the vehicle. There is an Anderson connector here, which I presume is connected to the chassis battery if you want to jump start somebody else's vehicle. That there is the level for the automatic transmission pump. And here's all your other sort of levels and stuff like that. Of course, it has had a full engine service. Antifreeze has been checked. And there's your gross vehicle weight of 5.32 tons, which is also on my list because this has been to the weighbridge since we took all the stuff out of the back for you. It now weighs 3,680, leaving you a payload of 1,520 kilos. Okay, so show wire from chassis battery to the rear. Okay, I'll come round to the near side. So this, of course, had a lift in the back, which we've removed at your request, but we've left the wiring in. So this cable here, with this inline fuse, was for the lift at the back. We've disconnected it, but if you want to join that back up, just in the circumstance you want power at the back, you want to put your batteries there and stuff like that, that is all cable tied up here. And of course, as you can see, it isn't connected to the battery, so that is all safe. That's at the back. If you want to put power at the back, we've left that in there for you. Because this vehicle isn't installed with a battery isolator, we recommend, because everything essentially stays on, to essentially just pull that little clip there, and at night time just disconnect the battery. And whilst you're doing your conversion and stuff, I'm sure you will be putting a battery isolator in it, but that's my recommendation on that front. Right. Show how the aircon diesel heater works. Okay, awesome. Let's do that. Come in through this little door here. So, pull this down like that. Here's the night heater and air conditioning button. Control switch, sorry. Little isolator here. That comes on. So you can see here, I've turned it on. And those little 3 lines there means the night heater will come on. And as you can hear, straight away she's kicking in. Just go ahead and shut this door. So just on the night heater, That's the air inlet, and the warm air comes out down these channels here. You can of course change that, but obviously it's probably not a bad idea to have it coming down the whole length of the bus. Give that 3 or 4 minutes, that'll kick in and do its work. If you want to use the aircon, press cool. There we go, cool. And you can turn that off and on up there. And then to turn it off, simply press that button there. Right. Advice on using the gearbox. Ooh, this bloody thing. So, started her up. So you can see there it says it's in auto. To drive it, flick it over like that. And it says it's in auto. If you flick that again, it won't say auto, it'll be a manual, and you can go up and down and change gear that way. Obviously most people just want to keep it in auto. For reverse, simply do the same, just go back. You can actually turn that little bleeper off by pressing reverse alarm mute on that little control switch there. And just a little note, I notice a lot of people that buy these vans off me, or I have noticed that people in the past, when they've finished using the vehicle, they have a tendency of just leaving it in gear and then turning the engine off. You want to make sure you park it right back in neutral when you come to finish using the vehicle. Okay, show doors unlocking, which keys include fuel filler. Okay, so the fuel filler is on the other side, and that's that key there to access the fuel cap. I will be putting a drop more diesel in this because we've got to deliver it up to you, so I'll be doing that here. Okay, unladen weight discussed based on the inspection report. Okay, I did go through the inspection report, and it has got fantastic tyres on it throughout. This offside front is dated from 2000. Let me just turn the engine off. This offside front tyre is dated at 2015. The rest of them are 2023. Isn't really showing many signs of perishing, but it was just me flicking through the paperwork and thinking, hey, if I was going for a long trip in this van, might I want to change that? On the note of tyres though, we did manage to find a spare wheel here, so I've put that at the back. There's a little cover over it as well. So yeah, that's that. MOT, we passed its MOT when it came in stock. So when it came in stock a long time ago, it was actually August last year, we took it straight for its MOT and it passed no advisory. So great sign that it was well maintained. It's a very rare occasion that we bring a van in and just take it for its MOT and it passes straight up without having any work done to it. Okay. Yeah, so my advice there was to disconnect the battery at night to ensure that the battery doesn't run flat. Obviously it's a 3-litre engine, so they do need the cranking amps there to get them going. So that's all worth noting. Of course, at the end of the day, this is going to be used as a camper van. Just get through this door. It's going to be used as a camper van. So really, for auxiliary purposes, you want to find the feeds for the lights and the heater, and you could probably do away with that control panel in the front. I mean, hundreds of people have bought these vans over the years. I've seen loads of them available, so I'm sure loads of them have been converted. So I'm sure there's forums and stuff out there about exactly how people have done it. But what I do on the ambulances is I find the feeds and then put them onto a new system of my own. It's just a bit simpler. On that note, there is a little wiring diagram up here for all of the stuff on the vehicle, if indeed you want to use what's already here within your conversion. So just a little side note, if I do publish this video to the World Wide Web, the distance from the back of the driver's seat to there is 5.3 meters, so it's rather big. The width is 2.2 meters, and the standing height is just over 2 meters as well, so it's a huge space. We have indeed installed this passenger seat in the front and equipped it with a seat belt. And like I say, all the seats and the lift and all that sort of jazz have been removed. So yeah, I guess I'll send this video over, get your okay, do the transfer of ownership, put some diesel in it, and send my parents on the way to Nottingley to deliver this van to you. Just a little one here. That's the main vehicle exhaust, and that's the exhaust for the diesel heater. Yeah, tidy old bus. Interesting to see what you do with it. Right, I think I've covered everything on there, but there's always something that I've missed. Yeah, I think we're all good. So, yeah, I'll get cracking. Pulled it down, and I knew there'd be something that I would forget, and that is that this here is the temperature sensor for the Eberspacher diesel heater. I'm just going to have another stroll around, and just in case there's something else that comes to mind. This is quite useful information.
Right, believe it or not, this isn't the sketchiest thing I've put on this ramp, but it's definitely up there. So, if anyone's interested to see what it's like underneath one of these tag axle minibuses, because they're pretty much everywhere, you see them all the time, and don't often get to see them underneath. So, they're what's called a Zuck-off, I believe. So, this coach builder's received this part of the vehicle, and then they've built the rest of it. So that's why it kind of sort of has this layout. Let's have a quick look where they've actually connected it on the chassis then. Yeah, it's looking like they've connected it here. So yeah, from there onwards is how it came from the Fiat factory, and the rest of it has been done by the coach builder. It's a nice lightweight build. Aluminium floor, fiberglass on the side. It's on rear air suspension, as you can see there. These bags look fine. So yeah, in terms of rust, we know that fiberglass doesn't rust, and we know that aluminium takes a lot longer to rust. So that's all good. That's all gravy. There's the exhaust. That can rust. There's the night heater exhaust. It's a long night heater exhaust. And this is the 3-litre engine, which is better than the 2.3 until the injectors go wrong and you have to take the engine out. But it's a low mileage example. This one here, 110,000 miles, so it should be okay. You have to bear in mind that we've had these in ambulance form with 500,000 miles on the clock with the original engines, so I rate them a lot. It is, of course, the fake automatic transmissions. That's a traditional manual box, and it's got a robot on the top. But that's how all automatic transmissions are these days. The only good automatic van you can get is a 2.7 5-cylinder Mercedes, but they ended in 2006, so good luck trying to find one of them. And there's a marking here. What are they trying to tell us? I have no idea. But yeah, this is what they're like. They're pretty low to the ground anyway, so you don't really want to be storing much underneath here, unless of course you sort of don't go any lower than probably, yeah, you'd probably be okay up to there. So you probably could retrofit some water tanks and stuff like that, and you'd be all right. But yeah, they are really good value for money. I mean, these vehicles aren't cheap, but you get a lot of van for the money, a lot of space for sure. Easy to live in one of these vehicles. And really, what have you got to maintain? The airbags, the brakes, the tyres, and really from there it's the exhaust and essentially everything else from here, because you're not going to be doing any welding or anything like that. So they seem a pretty safe bet to me. And off she goes.